battery successful issue to the market. Those are the two main things. And as I said, for you just join, I have a secret for next week. I'm not ready to release it as yet. Right? Not ready to release it as yet. Alright. So here we are now. It seems like its money market is still having some issues. So let us move into it. Remember, feel your questions. We have no problem answering it. But welcome. Yes. Yes, Judith. Welcome. Yes, as I said, it was a pretty successful take-up by the Tropical Battery IPO. You will get guarantee up to 50,000 units that you had applied for. I went as far as know exactly what I will be getting, because you will get 30.64% of what went above 50,000. So I have no problem. And I went again a little further and even calculate what my annual dividend would be based on a 25% dividend ratio instead of 50% as they had put in the prospectus. So I am kind of a bit forward on that one, because what I want to remind you guys, I put out a challenge that you can use, who will be able to use 10,000 Jamaican dollars and make a net of 1 million in 2 years. So that is where my first 10,000 is. So yes, 10,000, and that's where my 10,000 is. So I have put my 10,000 there. It doesn't mean that it will stay there, but I'm going to show you during the 2 years. Oh, I'm going to show you during the going to work, and I will show you various ways how I have put it out there. All right, so here we go. Mark is in the house. It's money. We never let a challenge get us done, my brother. Welcome. Welcome.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's see if we can do this in 10 minutes. I know we had some little difficulties there for the first 20 minutes or so. So let's get cracking. Yeah.
All right. So, Mark, your review of the success of the Tropical Battery IPO.
Yeah, what I think, what I think Delroy is, or made mention of, is that it was very successful. It's very positive for the stock market. Between that and the other offer, which is the additional public offer for Burrito.
Yes.
But interestingly is that the Tropical Battery, ticker symbol TBCL, or to be ticker symbol, it was, you get 50,000 units or shares.
Yeah.
If you went into it, but interestingly, you will only get 30.6% or 30% of your offer after that. So, a takeaway is that it was highly successful. You get roughly a third of what you applied for.
Yes.
But pre-COVID, we both know that with a lot of these offers, you were only getting 5, 10%, sometimes 4% of your offer. So I think two big takeaways is that it was highly successful. It was oversubscribed, but at the same time, it shows that COVID has impacted the capital markets. It's just something to analyze, as investors.
But one of the beautiful things, Mark, it showed that if you think a product or a company is good enough, it will survive no matter what. It will have challenges, but it will survive. So I called you out last week. Did you buy any of Tropical Battery?
No, actually, I didn't go in for it. I thought, the PE ratio was 20, 21 times. It will probably do well. It'll be oversubscribed, but I'm bullish on the Super 6 Delroy. Derrimon. Derrimon, I'm bullish on. I know we'll get there eventually.
Mark, hold on. We are going to do it stock for stock. So we are going to do one by one. So Derrimon is one of your 6 that you are going for. What is your take on it? What is your outlook on it?
So very positive. You know, when we spoke about it first and we just started doing these, you know, weekly on and off series, you know, Derrimon, you know, hadn't really kind of revved up yet. I think they were still in the dollar and change range, you know, $2 range. You know, they're now at $2.75. You know, the chairman, CEO, they just had their annual general meeting, you know, mentioned some of the things that they're looking to raise the capital for. I think they just approved 1.8 billion, you know, units or shares. So that, in essence, is what makes me excited. You know, everybody has to buy local food. You know, it's not tourism right now or just yet again. So, you know, that AGM has really revved up Derrimon. And Mr. Cottrell gave a little bit of insight into the one or two investments he plans to make.
All right. Well, that's your first. I am going with Fosrich first because I'm in love with Fosrich. They are trading at a very high P though in a market. It's over 30, right?
Yeah.
Good. But I will say this again. I listened to a presentation on JBDC with them on Friday, and I was even more inspired to hold that stock. Just their internal operations, what is being said, and I'm telling you the growth and the projection for the company, based on even the price that it is being traded at now. It's a pretty manageable and the company is looking good. So I have every reason to continue to hold it in my portfolio.
How is the stock price doing with Fosrich? How is it doing since we spoke to now roughly? Is it up, down, sideways? How's it doing?
It's not down. That's a plus. It's not down for sure. It's not down. So right now it's at 360 something. All right.
Okay.
And I'm trying to close that today, but 360 plenty. All right. And as I said, so shoot for your next one.
So NCB, I really thought NCB was a sleeper. Interestingly, they came out today, you know, with the application from June is now approved by the FSC or the Financial Services Commission, which basically allows them to, you know, streamline their insurance business. You know, yes, there's some expected credit losses and, you know, it might hinder their bank a little bit, but I think NCB Delroy is you know, it's a stock that gets beaten up a lot, you know, when the market's a bit down, but I think NCB is going to benefit from this whole Guardian, you know, Guardian deal. And if you look at what they're really doing strategically with NCB Insurance Guardian, I think there's a lot of synergies that's going to come.
Oh, okay. Well, you know that the return on equity for general accident is pretty much one of the highest amongst the junior market stocks. But interestingly, it's trading at a P of roughly 11, which means that there's a lot of growth in it. So just for that simple reason, I am sticking with general accident.
Okay, that's so no changes there. You're sticking with Genac.
Sticking with Genac.
And your company is expanding into Barbados and Trinidad.
So sticking with it. And that's why I said it provides a lot of upside. All right?
Okay.
I want to take you on with QWI because I have something to ask you about QWI. You were very bullish on it. What are you saying on it this time?
Well, before we get to QWI, let's talk about Mailpack.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
Let's talk about Mailpack. So, I mean, how do you feel about Mailpack? I mean, I'm still bullish on Mailpack. Their quarterly results weren't as good, but with logistics, you know, people are spending more time at home, so they should be ordering more stuff. How do you feel about Mailpack?
All right, I still have no interest in it. Still.
Yes.
No interest in it. And I know you're bullish on it, but I have no interest. However, in their favor, the ordering and the delivery service and all, it should be a boost for them. So I will say that, but I have no interest at this time. Remember, you know, stock at this time, I have no interest. So
is there any stock, Delroy, in the logistics space that you're bullish on, whether it's Mailpack, Kingston Wharves, anything in logistics at all that you are bullish on, or nothing as yet?
No man. Kingston Wharves, man. Kingston Wharves.
You're still bullish on Kingston Wharves?
As a matter of fact, I am trying to average down, but it's gone back up. So I am just keeping my position as is.
Okay.
I got some when it fell.
Yes.
Right? So I averaged down on it. Yes, man. I averaged down on it. So if I sell right now, I think I will be smiling like this. Just like
where is Kingston Wars now roughly? You know, I know their PE ratio is high, their earnings growth rate is high, but where is Kingston Wars now?
Hold on. Their PE for Kingston Wharf is 24. It's not really high. It's relative. The average, well, the average PE in that sector is 20. It's 20, yes. So they're at 24. But remember, Mark, you have to pay a premium for something that worth it while.
It's relative to Tropical Battery.
Well, does it trace long term or short term? Let us pay some attention now to what is being said here, Mark. We cannot ignore them tonight. We know we have roughly.
Well, I'm long term. I don't know. What are you, Delroy? Are you short term or long term?
Stock is generally a long term play. So once we think of stock,
the question is how do you trade? How does Know Your Money Matters trade? Are you long term or short term?
All right.
You can always say both, you know, nothing wrong with that.
Well, all right. Well, it's both because it depends on I take a position first on the company based on its outlook and how I feel about it. So if it is good enough for me to hold it for a day, it should be good enough for me to hold it over the long term. However, during that period, I will assess as I go along.
Okay. Now, Delroy, another one of my stocks is Indus Pharma. You notice a lot of my stocks are coming out with big news, right?
No,
Indus Pharma, pharmaceuticals.
So we answer that. Yes, Sanjay, exactly. Yeah, Indus.
So Indus Pharma came out with excellent news that they're doing a corporate bond. Now, they did come out with the disclosures on what they're using the funds for. I think it's FDA approval for some research, you know, and analysis, as well as you know, some real estate investing or repayment for their corporate office or headquarters. So Indus Pharma, you know, doing well so far. Pharmaceuticals. Any thoughts on that, or what's your other pick?
All right. I'm going to tie you down to QWI now. So don't jump past QWI after this one. But
remember, you know, I have my 6 stocks here, you know. QWI wasn't my 6 stocks, you know. It was Grace, Mailpack, Derrimon, Seprod, NCB, Indus Pharma. What I said was that QWI could also be a sleeper, but it wasn't one of my super 6.
Okay. All right. So remember now, you know, I told you that I have Supreme Ventures. All right.
Yes,
as one of my picks.
How you feel? How you feel about Supreme Ventures? You still feel Supreme? You still feel they're doing well?
I believe, based on the industry and exactly where they are, we could not expect better from the beating on the racehorse side and that gaming side. But they are getting over on the other side. They have realigned their management team. They're going to be the competition coming, yes. But at this time, I still feel comfortable knowing the type of management that they have, that they're going to pull something out of the hat and get over it. So I am still holding on to it. It's a hold for me at this time. I am holding on to it. I'm not going to say I'm holding on.
And then Grace Kennedy, no. So I'm not, you know, Supreme Ventures until earnings creeps back up. I'm not fully bullish on Supreme just yet. But until I see the earnings come back up, I agree that they've taken a beating on, I think it's Guyana as well as Cameron Park. But Grace Kennedy, no. Wow.
For sure you how well Supreme Venture was doing. The average PE for that sector, you know, is 16.65, and they are right there. 16.7. They are right there. So it just goes to show that they had debt carrying them all along. So you don't just throw away a company like that. I can't just throw it away. I've gotten a lot of dividends from them. I can't just throw it away.
No. I want. Well, that's the purpose of tonight, you know. But if you look at Grace Kennedy, you know, it looks like Grace needs to even have their own coffee.
You will want to get to Grace, man.
Yes, man. Because Dan Webby looks like he has awoken now. The man is awoken from the dead. I mean, Grace Kennedy now seems very exciting. You know, executive changes October 1st.
Yeah.
They have a head of mergers and acquisitions just announced. You know,
A new division. So they are going to be very aggressive.
I mean, the GK parties they say are doing well during COVID, and even Dan Webby's Instagram page is alive. If you can imagine that, Delroy. You know, I mean, these are all little signs where, you know, like what Ajir was asking. Do you only look at fundamentals? Well, we look at all things. I mean, everything about Grace right now tells you that it's awakening. It might be a very good 2021 for Grace Kennedy.
Well, I am happy to report that I think Dan Webby is actually on my page. I'm happy to report. I'm sure. Last time I checked. You can check him. So you can check. The last time I checked. Hi, Sir Dan. Good going, Sir Dan. Like you're reshuffling. We're paying attention to you. Know Your Money Matters is looking at you, and it's Money Mark. Yes, and it's Money Mark is in love with Grace product. So we're staying on top of Grace. Yes, Mark.
Yeah, because it's like a sleeping giant. It has taken a few years, but it's like that diesel truck getting up Mount Diablo, Delroy. You know, it's got to the top now. Grace Kennedy feels good. It feels really good at Grace, clearly. So I want to keep that in my portfolio. I feel good about Grace now. I couldn't have said that, you know, 3, 5, 7 years ago, but I feel good about GK. How you feel about Grace?
Well, I just told you, if I am not mistaken, the top boss, I think, is on my page. And that's all I'm saying. It just goes to show how good I feel about them. Right? Yes.
And then I'm going to give you my last one now. And then I want to hear your own before, I guess, we call it a wrap with your usual disclaimer. It's Seprod. How you feel about Seprod?
I am... Separate soul, no. I can't comment about
that. But that close on the sugar. You know, Mr. Pandu is the CEO of the company. They just had their annual general meeting streaming as well too.
Yeah, but Mr. Pandu spoke last week on he was in the news last week. I'm trying to remember exactly what
he was in the news about cockroaches. That's something different in the stock market. No. So we're going to focus on price to earnings ratio tonight. Yeah.
All right. And guys, you might not follow some of the terminologies that we are using, but we're actually trying to keep it simple. These are actually fundamentals that we look at in terms of running down the price. We are not getting into the historical pricing with technical analysis. We are just doing some fundamentals on it, just to keep in the loop. Whenever we are going technical, we will tell you we are going technical. So this is straight fundamental stuff at the base for you to understand. And before you go to your broker, you can have some idea of what we are trying to do. So we are saying tonight that this is what we are holding. We don't know what you are holding. We are not guiding you, but we are expressing to you that these are real things that we are doing, right? Expanding logistics and distribution. Yes, Jamaica.
Jamaica is in the building. Delroy, I gotta run in a minute or two, but I just want to tell you, it is fantastic being here with you this evening again. We need to keep doing it every Monday, especially when Jamaica finally comes in with the hard questions.
All right, the last one I'm going to remember is proven. We need to look out for proven and watch what they will be coming with next. That's all I will say, guys.
That is true.
What they will be coming with next. It will not be normal. Chris Williams and his team is thinking of something. It will not be normal.
I would agree. Don't underestimate proven. They always are coming with something.
Mark, we stuck on the US market you would like for us to wrap up with, because I know you always have G or one of those.
Well,
Amazon? Which one?
I think what we could do, Delroy, is let's do a segment. Next week, Monday, let's just do the US stock market. Let's talk about Amazon. Let's talk about Penn National. Penn National, very interesting, especially.
I have to let out the secret, Mark. For next week, Monday, a very global figure will be on Know Your Money Matters. Right. Live. So we can't do it because I am saying we will have a global figure. The promo.
I cannot wait to hear. I cannot wait to hear it.
This should be a continuous thing, please. Sanjay, I am happy for your comment. I know we're seeing you for the first time, but we try to make it. We are out at